Can Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson act? This is the question we've all been wondering. Can A24 do it? Can Benny Safdie do it? Is it possible? We're about to talk about it. The Smashing Machine is a 2025 sports biographical American drama film. Written, directed, edited, and produced by Benny Safdie. Before we get into this movie review, let's go over some of the characters. Dwayne Johnson as Mark Kerr, Emily Blunt as Dawn Staples, Ryan Bader as Mark Coleman, Bas Rutten as himself, Alexander Usyk as Igor. Let's talk about The Rock, right? The Rock is a beloved person, or at least in general has been a beloved person most of his time in the entertainment industry. But recently, as you saw a few years ago with Black Adam and the Blue Beetle beef, from my own personal opinion, has pushed him in the direction to take on this film. This film also was like a $7 production, not only just A24. I'm assuming The Rock genuinely, one, he does care about the fight industry. And this is a story about the early on UFC days. And it's technically not even the UFC. It's this random sporting event in Japan. But he cares about the stories of fighters. But he also wants to prove to the world that he can act. I'll tell you this. I went into this film pretty skeptical for the most part. I'm like, is he just going to be himself? Am I going to be able to separate him from every other role that he's ever done, which is genuinely just himself? And I'll let you know right now, he did a good job, in my opinion. I'm not well versed in the storyline of this movie of Smashing Machine. I went in blind. I decided to do that on purpose because I wanted to just see The Rock be someone else. The character Kerr was a person who battled with addiction, and it was very respectful and overall soft-spoken. His character did crash out every now and again, but whose character doesn't crash out every now and again, and who doesn't crash out every now and again? Even though this didn't do well in the box office, it did well when it came to the critics. It's not the highest critically acclaimed movie. It got people talking. I'm genuinely surprised that the UFC fan base hasn't tuned into this movie a lot more than they should have been. You know what I'm saying? The UFC is huge. They get tons of viewership. I don't know what's going on with all of that. Kerr is pretty much an undefeated fighter at this point in the movie when it starts. And he flies to Japan regularly to do these fights. And there's a huge Japanese fan base, so he's flying there constantly. And one of the things you notice about his character in the beginning is that he is humble, but he does have everything he could possibly need, including vials of opioids. And I was a little surprised by this. I'm like, during this era, this was like the Vicodin era, dude. I'm like, why isn't bro popping Vicodin? Why isn't Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's character just popping Vicodin? And why does he have to inject himself with opioids? That's a little crazy coming from an ex-drug addict. Cause everybody shot. I'm kidding. He low-key was taking shots of those opioids. Is he going to be just himself? And when I saw that Kerr, or at least the character he plays, Kerr, was struggling with addiction, I'm like, okay, this is actually going to be a bit of a battle. And he executed it pretty well. He got emotional, he cried, he had issues with his partner, played by Emily Blunt. You know, after he lost his fight, or a no contest fight, because he got kneed in the fucking head by this Japanese fighter, this just shows you that back in the day when it came to these fights outside of boxing, they weren't regulated as well as they are now. And there was a lot of illegal shit going on. Like, his character's confidence was literally knocked the fuck out. A redemption arc of him going to rehab and overcoming this and becoming the best again sadly doesn't happen. This movie was made because Mark Kerr is an unknown name to the public when it comes to the UFC, because he genuinely helped build the UFC with his coach and homie. There was this scene, Mark Kerr decides to shave his head. Still Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, right? He shaves his head, or gets his head shaved. I can't remember what happened exactly, but his head gets shaven by somebody. I'm assuming it's a barber. And the next cut scene is just literally a bald Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with the prosthetic nose and like the bushier eyebrows. And I'm gonna let you know right now, the movie theater, at least the 20-something-year-old dudes in the theater, they were all laughing at this scene. And I couldn't help but wonder why. I get it, like, you looked like The Rock. Just because you're a huge name, and just because the sport is huge, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate into numbers at the box office. I'm genuinely shocked that the Taylor Swift movie, I don't even know what that was all about. I'm assuming it has to do with the making of her album or maybe the performance of her new album. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Probably not going to watch it. That did way better than The Smashing Machine. I think it did 7 million or 8 million opening weekend, which is insane. I feel like this movie will have a bit of a fandom once it's released to a streamer. TikTok editors, do your thing, bro. This movie's going to get the recognition I think it deserves, and I genuinely thought all of the actors did a pretty good job. Emily Blunt was very believable. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was very believable. Benny Safdie and A24 did not let me down. With that being put aside, I don't think this movie was necessarily for me. I didn't really know the lore of the character, and I'm not really tapped into the UFC like that. I'm what you would call a casual. So therefore, the amount of fucks I give when it comes to the lore of this sport is pretty minimal. Dear Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I want you to want me to want you to show me that you can act. If you can keep doing that outside of this movie that I just watched, you're gonna tickle my fancy. Do you understand? Yeah, the ending of the movie, it's more of a cautionary tale, I suppose, of the fight world and addiction and spending your money the right way and being in a healthy relationship. It's more of a cautionary tale, hence the name The Smashing Machine. Is it good? Is it bad? That's up to you to determine. Give this movie a watch if you can. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until, I don't know why I'm holding it out this long, next time.